Yo, what's going on, guys? KrispyFlakes here. So we are a few months into the NBA season. I thought it would be kind of fun to do a 2018 NBA redraft because as we all know, man, like there's certain players in this draft class that are now playing better than when they were selected at, and vice versa. Guys that maybe should not have been selected so soon, they're not really stepping up to the plate. So what I have here is I have the NBA 2018 offseason. I have the draft order for all the lottery teams correct out here. Also, we have last offseason's rosters because, of course, the NBA draft happens before free agency and before any big-time moves are going to be made. So we're going to do this redraft, guys. As always, in the comment section below, let me know what your team would be looking like or what your redraft would be looking like if you got to, choose for some of these teams out here. So NBA draft, of course, we got the Phoenix Suns with the first pick. So they ended up taking DeAndre Ayton in real life, which is not a bad pick at all, man, because they clearly needed a center on the team. But I will say that, based off of just, their team in general, I mean, I feel like this center position, yes, it definitely is important, but at the same time, you can just go out there and trade for somebody that can grab you a few rebounds, throw back a few shots, and catch an alley-oop every now and then. So what the Phoenix Suns need straight up is talent. They need a franchise player. Not saying Ayton cannot be that, because I really do think he's going to be a solid big guy for many years to come, but I think no doubt, despite having Devin Booker on that team, this team needs guys that can score the basketball, get others involved, and just be stars. Luka Doncic deserves to go number one, guys. I don't care if you play him at the small forward position. I know this team don't have a point guard, so, run Devin Booker at the point guard spot, run Luka at the 2 spot, and run through him at times. Luka Doncic is big time. This dude has been just so unbelievable this entire NBA season that I think there's no doubt that you would take him number one in the draft. I think that the Atlanta Hawks are going to be kicking themselves for not really keeping Luka and all that stuff out there, although Trae Young still has not been bad. But yeah, man, Luka Doncic to the Phoenix Suns for this first pick. So next up, we do have the Sacramento Kings. They ended up taking Marvin Bagley with their pick right here. And Marvin's, he's been fine. He's averaging 13 points, 6 rebounds per game. You can't really, there's no indication if he's going to be more of a center or if he is going to be more of a power forward in the NBA. But I was looking at this team roster. They have Willie Cauley-Stein, so they don't really need a center out there, because he's fine. They got Buddy Hield, who's been a nice scorer. Don't really need a guard. De'Aaron Fox is great. Small forward position, Bogdanovic is pretty decent. I still think they go with a power forward, but there is one that I think has been better this NBA season compared to Marvin Bagley, and it's pretty close out there, but I'm going to say probably Jaren Jackson Jr. goes number 2 in this draft to the Sacramento Kings. He's only 18. Although I believe Marvin Bagley is pretty young himself out there. Yeah, he's 19 himself. So you really can't go wrong with either one. But I just think that Jaren Jackson's been a tad bit better than Marvin. I feel like he's a bit of a better shooter right now. Right now on the season, he is shooting about 51% field goal percentage, 32% from 3. Although Marvin, he only does shoot about 1 3 a game. He's shooting 36%. But yeah, I would say overall from a mid-range standpoint, Jaren Jackson is probably a bit better in that department as of right now. That could change in the past, or in the future, I should say. So we're going to go Jaren Jackson, number 2 to the Sacramento Kings. All right, next up, we do have the Atlanta Hawks. And the Atlanta Hawks originally drafted Trae Young for their team. And looking at their roster, they have, of course, Dennis Schroeder, who ends up going to the OKC Thunder. John Collins out there. Center position's a little weak out here, too. I would probably say it's close, man, because they seem to really be big on Trae Young this season. At the same time, though, they could use a center, so I will say, straight up, I was kind of sold between getting Trae Young back on this team or maybe going out there and grabbing DeAndre Ayton. So I think, though, that they just seemed really sold on Trae Young. I would personally take DeAndre Ayton in a redraft if I was them, but the fact that they were willing to give up Luka Doncic just kind of goes to show that this was their guy right here. And same song and dance towards John Collins, I see probably more as a center in the future of the NBA anyway, so Trae Young's been nice for them this NBA season. He's averaging about 15 points and 7 assists per game. I feel like Hawk fans like him, so I did not want to take that away from them, guys. So Trae Young is going to be drafted number 3, just like he was, for this team originally going back to the Atlanta Hawks. All right, next up, we do have the Memphis Grizzlies, who have been kind of surprising this NBA season. I don't think a lot of people really expected them to be doing as well as they really are. Of course, they have veterans and guys like Marc Gasol, Mike Conley. They got Dylan Brooks out there, who was a nice rookie last season. I still think they need a power forward out there because right now they have JaMychal Green as the best on their roster. So, Sacramento Kings ended up taking Jaren Jackson. I think they go right back and take their guy in Marvin Bagley. Yes, they are going to get Marvin Bagley to add to this roster. Not as good a fit alongside Marcus All, Mike Conley as Jaren Jackson's been, but still nonetheless, it's very close how those guys are out there. Okay, next up, we do have the Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, they are going to lose on Luka Doncic for this. But they have a nice point guard in Dennis Smith. They have Harrison Barnes, who is, roughly a 18 point per game scorer on a good night. So I will say they still need a big guy. They end up getting DeAndre Jordan. Does not really fit with like the whole like young team mindset. Athletic, I don't want to say athletic, but really like the young team mindset this team's going with. So I'm gonna say at this point you go with the best center available, and that is DeAndre Ayton. I feel like him and Dennis Smith could definitely make some noise out there. So yeah, DeAndre Ayton going to this team as he's wearing number 13. I feel like Dallas would definitely be happy with that pickup if he fell that far down to them. And now we get to the Orlando Magic, and this team is pretty interesting because, of course, they ended up taking Mohamed Bamba, but they have Vucevic, who's only 27. Like, 27 is like the prime of your basketball career. This team's best point guard is DJ Augustine, who should be a second, maybe even a third-string point guard on most teams. I would say he's at least a backup point guard. I do like DJ Augustine, but this team definitely needed to go out there and get a star point guard. And while I don't know if any of the point guards in this draft are really going to be like big-time superstars, I definitely see some all-star potential in somebody like Colin Sexton. I feel like Colin Sexton could have changed that culture out there. He has a very like gritty, just, I want to play some defense mindset out there. His offense has been great, averaging about 15 points per game. Him and Aaron Gordon could have been a nice little connection right there. They have Evan Fournier who can help space the floor. So yeah, I feel like Colin Sexton would have been the ideal choice. And actually looking at this draft, the fact that they could have actually had him and went with Bamba is just kind of mind-boggling to me. All right, next up we do have the Chicago Bulls, who originally took Wendell Carter. And I hate that Wendell is still falling this far because I feel like he could have gone a lot sooner probably himself. But fact of the matter is, this team has Lauri Markkanen. This team has Bobby Portis. They have a Robin Lopez out there. They end up getting Jabari Parker, who cannot play small forward. This team actually needs a small forward. Denzel Valentine's fine. I would now have him starting on my basketball team. So I will say that they probably end up going with Kevin Knox. We all know Kevin Knox tore it up like in the summer league. On the Knicks this season, he's had some pretty nice games out there. I believe he had like a 30 point per game where he shot really nice. But he's still a work in progress. He's only 18. But yeah, it's not like the Bulls are trying to win right now. So I feel like Kevin Knox would have fit in nicely in that small forward position. You allow Jabari to play the 4 spot, and then you probably have Lauri Markkanen be a stretch 5. And that team is looking pretty good, man. They have the spacing that a team would need out there. Okay, next up we have the Cleveland Cavaliers. No doubt, still need a point guard. Because this season they of course, they had George Hill, who ended up getting traded away. Jordan Clarkson, I say he's more of a shooting guard. They lose LeBron James. They have Kevin Love out there. Don't really need like a big guy in that department. Tristan Thompson actually been pretty decent for them. So I say they probably go with the next best point guard available. In my opinion, that's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. You can even argue that maybe like him and Colin Sexton, based off of what exactly you want from your point guard position, both those guys could probably swap space, and he could have went to the Magic. But regardless, Shai Gilgeous, he's been really nice. He's actually playing the most minutes ever that a rookie has played for Doc Rivers. So when you have Doc Rivers respect like that early on in your rookie NBA career, that says a lot about you out there, man. Okay, so next up we do have the New York Knicks, who of course have Kristaps Porzingis. Regardless who they get, they would still probably be tanking out there because Kristaps, of course, would be injured. But I decided that for this pick right here, that we have Kristaps at power forward, can also play center. While they do end up getting Enes Kanter back, he's only on a 1-year deal, and who knows exactly like how long he's going to stick around for, or if they're really worth the money right here, man. So we have Wendell Carter, who can play center. He actually plays center for the Bulls, I believe, mostly. Or you have Mohamed Bamba right here, too. So you go with either Bamba, or you go with Wendell. I would probably, I don't know, it's actually a lot closer than you think, because Wendell is obviously shorter by about 2 inches compared to Bamba. Both are really good shooters out there. I would probably take Wendell Carter and run him at center with Kristaps, or vice versa, put Kristaps at center, and that would be fine. Just because, like, I don't want to say, like, too much height's a bad thing, but when you have, like, a guy with a 7'10 wingspan or whatever it is, and also Kristaps out there, I feel like Wendell would move a bit better off of Kristaps. So I'm going to go with him. 6'10 from Duke, Wendell Carter to the New York Knicks. Next up, we do have the Philadelphia 76ers. This team didn't even need no freaking lottery pick, but they ended up getting one, of course. And this time, listen up to me, 76ers. You still take Mikal Bridges, but guess what? You don't trade him. Keep this man. He would have been so perfect for this team. Even if he did not start this season, he would have been a nice two-way guard to have off your bench. He would have been somebody that could have replaced JJ Redick. Sure, not like as amazing of a shooter as JJ Redick is, but again, who is? I was so mad when they traded this dude away. Like, he was such a perfect fit at 6'7". He fit right in with, like, the culture, their style of play out there. So, yes, he is going to the team. All right, next up, we do have the Charlotte Hornets. And they ended up taking Miles Bridges. So, Bridges is still potentially going to be a star player in the NBA. I would say he has not really, like, played all that much for the Hornets. But when he has played, he's been all right for them. So, I will say, based off their lineup, they had Dwight Howard. He ends up leaving. They got Cody Zeller. They got Willie Hernan-Gomez. I believe they also get Frank Kaminsky back, so who also plays center at times. I was debating on giving them Mohamed Bamba, but I will say, in this case, I'm still going to say Miles Bridges, just because of what I think he can be for that team, and I feel like Hornet fans actually really do like Miles Bridges a lot. So, yes, he's still going back to the Charlotte Hornets. I thought that was a fine pick. And next up, we have the LA Clippers, who actually get back-to-back picks in this case. So good for them. They end up getting Shai Gilgeous for their team, and also Jerome Robinson, who's averaging about 2 points per game, not really playing a ton out there. No, as far as players available, this team is kind of lacking the center position. They have like Boban, who plays at times, but I would say Mohamed Bamba is who you go next with in this draft. He just fits in with the culture of the team. Have him at the 5 spot with Tobias at the 4, Gallinari at the 3, and all of a sudden that team got some nice shooters on it from the forward positions. And they get another pick right here. I'm going to say Michael Porter Jr. because in this case, you don't absolutely like really need like a new player right away anyway. And because you already got Tobias out there with Gallinari. If Tobias leaves, then yeah, Michael can play the 4 or the 3 spot, or Gallinari can play the 4 and Michael Porter will be ready to go. So yeah, I don't really know why they passed up on him. I would have probably took him over Jerome Robinson in the real draft anyway. So he is going to be on the Clippers. And then for the final lottery pick that we have here, to the Denver Nuggets. This is a player that I believe went undrafted, and I don't know how, because he's been absolutely amazing. He's so far down on this list. Where is he? You guys will know him when you see him. We are still looking for him, man, because 2K does not respect him at all. Somewhere on this list. Oh my God, where is he, man? I know he exists. I know he exists. He plays the shooting guard position. Oh no, man, he might not actually be in this game, and that would just be total disrespect to him out here. Where is he, guys? Play shooting guard. Okay, we're on shooting guards now. If he's not on here, then I'm just going to say straight up who he should have been. Wow, man. 2K with no respect to him whatsoever, unless I'm just missing him. Yeah, he's not on here. I was going to say Alonzo Trier. He no doubt should have been on here. There's a good chance I missed him and I'm just blind because I'm making a video and talking at the same time. But yeah, I think no doubt Alonzo Trier. I guess I'll go with Lonnie Walker. He also would have been nice for them to get. But yeah, Alonzo Trier is who I had going to this team out there. I think I probably did pass on him. I just did not see. But anyway, guys, that is my 14 selections for the lottery pick out there. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think the rest of the team should have got. What you think all these teams should have got. Hope you all enjoyed. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and peace out, my friends.